Hey there, it's Workbench Quagmire, back with day 47 of our free code camp, Python certification in 100 days. Last time we left off, we created all these tests for our mock certification project. So as a reminder, let's switch over here to the project. There we go. So the project is a budget app. But since I don't want to copy the project or do the project and just have people kind of watch and copy the code or whatever, we're doing something similar. So instead of having a budget app, we have a project tracker app where we basically do the same thing where we have, instead of a category, we have a project. Instead of a ledger, we have like a project log. We have a method um, to add time to the project, things like that. We'll go through it here. But one of the things we're doing also is so they have all these tests. So I have this deposit method should create a specific object in the ledger instance. Calling the deposit method with no description should create a blank description. So today, since we have started this, we created all these tests to basically check if all these things exist. And all we did was create, the shell of what our thing's going to be here. So one of the things that we're going to work on is we're going to work on this first thing here. And instead of having the blank one with, if it's blank, it's blank. We're going to use time budget. So we're going to write the test to test that this thing creates something in our ledger. And actually, we need to create that first. So let's create a test. And I've also learned a little bit more about this testing stuff. So let's go in here to our test. And instead of, you see here, I've created this project thing for every one of them, or at least this one here. So what I want to do is I actually want to use the setup method for this. And we do that, we can set this project up once, and then setup. Then we can go in here and say project equals project. And that's not what I want. Oh, we have to call project tracker dot project. And then name any. And so we want to give it a name. We're just going to call it project for now. So we're going to create this project. I'm going to delete this line down here. See if it's anywhere else. It is not. Okay. And then we're going to test if class exists. We've already got that. So now we want to test if name attribute exists. Okay. We also want to test, let's see, we'll call it self assert true has adder project dot, and then in this case we'll just call it project log. And so now when we save this and we run our tests, in the right place, we're in. So we can see here we ran 9 tests. We had 1 error, failed. So test name attribute exists. So it's saying project is not defined. Oh, you know what? Self, because this is an instance variable. This is in fact. Oh, okay, project is not defined. Am I using it somewhere else? Line 21. Aha. False is not true. So now we have a true failure. So in this case, project does not have project log. So now that we have a failing test, we will go create it, and our project log is just going to be just like our like the certification project. It's going to be an instance variable, which means that there will be a project log for each instance, and it will be an empty list, and it'll just be a list of times and descriptions of times. So now, if we go back over here and test, we have 9 passing tests again. So let's write another test to fail on. Now we're going to time budget. So time budget, we want a fixed description because this is basically when we create the project. Um, this will be how we add hours. So basically, when we do the default one, we'll create a time budget, and then it'll also allow us to basically add hours. So we can go in there and say, hey, we want to add to the time budget, and then put a description in. But one of the things it needs to do is it needs to basically create an object. So what we need to do is self, oh, pass. We need to write our test first. I'm trying to do test driven development here, and I haven't done this in a while. So use test budget method, project manager, time budget. And then we can also say I don't know how to write this actually. We could say maybe we do this. Self dot project dot time budget. And then any time. So we're going to say, let's say it's an hour. So we're going to say it's going to be 40 hours. And then assert self dot assert true. Um, let's see that it's going to be self dot project dot uh, time. What do we call it? Project log. Yep. Project log. We're going to say the 0th and the amount. Now we need quotes. is 40. So if we create a time budget, it should be 40. So let's run our test. Should fail. Failed. So list index out of range because it doesn't exist. So now if we go in here and say time budget, so this is going to be self dot project log dot append, and then we're going to append an object with the amount, actually time. Yeah, we're going to say time is time. And description is description. Okay, now let's see if our test passes. Nope. Self.project amount. It's because we tested for amount and we changed it to time. Yep. Okay, let's run our tests again. And we passed. So that's all that method needs to do is just add time. And so that's all we're going to do today. And then next time we will tackle the next one, log hours. So log hours, actually, we will do get balance first, because log hours, what we want to do is we want to check to make sure we have hours. And to check if we have hours, we need to run has enough time. To figure out has enough time, we need to get the balance. So we will get the balance, then we'll work on has enough time, and then we'll do log hours. And that's also going to be what we need for the transfer time transfer as well. And then we'll do the string method and then the standalone function for time chart. So that's all we got for today. Pretty simple. One things I didn't do. Hold on. I didn't do this. It seems like it doesn't matter, but tear down. Maybe I don't need to do this. Apparently I don't need to do it. So we're just not going to do it. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.